Many, though, are now unsure where to go, what to do. That includes some Canadians and those with connections to our country. Our next guests came to Canada from Ukraine back in 2016 as refugees. They had 3 children who are all Canadian citizens. Last month, they had to leave Canada reluctantly, no longer to stay because of their work permits were no longer valid. Let's go to Kyiv. Mina and Svetlana Makar are my guests along with their children. Thank you for taking some time to come on the program here with us in Canada. Mina, tell us your story and whether you and the family are safe. What's been happening in the last 24 hours for you and the family?
It's our pleasure talking to you, Todd. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for CTV News for hosting us. It's been huge, tremendous stress for our family, for my 3 born Canadian citizens. We left Ukraine in 2016 looking for home, far from home. And we had our 3 beautiful gifts. Carolus, our 5 years old, which suffering from cerebral palsy, mild cerebral palsy, and Michael and Philippetir, they're 2 years old. And we had a wonderful life till we lost our refugee case. We started to apply for humanitarian case, humanitarian compassion, and the base of interest for the kids. We lost it. I have been trying to send an email to our owner, Justin Trudeau, our Prime Minister, and I just received correspondence from his office acknowledging with no results. And back in June, we received deportation forced from the IRCC to leave Canada. And the result of this, I had to quit my job. I had to leave everything. My son had to leave his school, and my kids had to have different life. None of my kids or myself speaking Russian or Ukrainian. And we were deported to Ukraine in 11 of January. And since then, I have been trying to contact the Canadian government. Last time, it was 17 of February. I contacted the consulate here in Kyiv, and they said they can't do anything. They believe that this matter is related to visas, so they CC me to visa department. But also I received a response from his office, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, yesterday, as assistant, saying that unfortunately we can't interfere. This matter belongs to the immigrations and refugee citizens.
So you're just to be clear, you're trying to get out now and get back to Canada, correct, Svetlana?
Yes. Yes, but my wife is Ukrainian. I'm Egyptian. I have temporary residence here in Ukraine, and we would love to come back. Our kids, the situation is chaos. There is no gas. Since morning, I waited in a gas station for 6 hours. There is no gas in all the gas stations around me. My credit cards, my debit cards, nothing working. I can't buy grocery except with cash. Sorry. And my cash amount is limited. So now I'm gonna be struggling sooner or later. If this is continue for the next 2 days, I will not have any money, Ukrainian money accepted in Ukraine. I'm just asking the government to save my kids.
Yeah, what is the message? What is your message, Mina and Svetlana, the two of you, to the Canadian government and what you'd like them to do to try to get you and your children out?
I'm really sorry. I just want them to help my kids. It is so stressful for me as a father. I want to secure their future. I was working, I paid all my tax, I contributed to the system, but the system rejects us. Mama. I haven't done anything wrong. I just want my kids to have the same future like all the Canadian kids.
And Mina, what has happened in the you talked about, trying to get money out, trying to get to a gas station, the long lineups. What has it been like for you and the family just in the last day since this attack began?
It's been difficult. The gas stations today, there is no gas in any gas station. I can't get gas. I can't even, I'm trying to buy the gas from somebody just to drive my car to go to the nearest border to take my kids out of the country. But also the roads are totally jammed. All the roads, it's a huge jam. People panic. In the complex where we're renting, everybody left. Since morning, everybody started to back up and they left. They left to the west. Some of them left to the closest to Romania, to Poland. But it is so difficult with family of 3 kids. And I don't speak Ukrainian or Russian. I'm calling my wife to translate for me while I'm outside just because I don't speak the language. I wanted to support the country, but I don't understand what's my fault that I've been deported during this time. During my deportation, I argued with the government saying that this is huge risk to my life. It's very clear in the application. They said there is no any risk made for the kids or for yourself. We believe that the kids will survive outside.
And it also strikes me, that you're saying you haven't got any reaction from the Canadian government.
No reaction.
Nothing. What about the Canadian embassy in Kyiv?
Nothing. They said, even today, we received another email, all Canadian citizens in Kyiv responsible for their way to leave. We can't, we are not arranging any way for you to leave Ukraine. So the last email which I sent to the consul, which he CC'd the visa section, nobody replied to us. Even from the Minister of Immigration, as for the Prime Minister office, CC him in the email, I haven't received any response. I'm desperate.
Can you please keep in touch with us here at CTV News? People are watching this interview, hopefully the right people in the government, and hopefully we can help you try and make your case to get back to Canada. But in the meantime, stay in touch with CTV News, Mina, and your wife Svetlana, as the days progress here, and we'll see what might possibly be able to happen here with your case. But I thank you for taking some time amid all of this to get your story out to people watching across the country.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for CTV News and you, Todd. I really appreciate it.
Mina and Svetlana Makar joining us there with their 3 children who are all Canadian citizens.